All right, Larry, it is a honor to hang out with you today. Um, so kind of just a reminder, one of the things that we want to do at our church is we're just looking for ways to give people real-time updates with what's happening in our community. And today we want to spotlight Love Inc. And so thanks for joining me with the call. Would you take a few minutes and just share a little bit about Love Inc. And then we'll go into how COVID-19 has disrupted your day-to-day operations in your ministry. So tell us a little bit about Love Inc.
Well, it's good to be with you, Paul.
Yeah, thank you.
So 10 years ago, a group of churches decided to form a nonprofit called Love in the Name of Christ of Cowlitz County. It's a 501c3. And it was a result of those 5 years we had of Servant Week, where we would mobilize our volunteers to go out in the community for 1 week a year and do all sorts of things. Well, that quickly morphed into the realization that there was a need for helping people year round. And so in response to that, these churches formed Love Inc. And the purpose of that is to mobilize volunteers in their local congregations to meet the needs of people who are falling through the cracks. And we could see a lot of cracks,
Yeah.
and a lot of people had needs, and there just wasn't resources for them available. And so very quickly, we began to sort of find our niche as Love Inc. And the volunteers that we mobilized have, a lot of them have been faithful. They're still with us after 10 years. And the kinds of things that we do, there's two main things. One is that we're helping individuals and families with their personal needs. And another thing that we ended up doing was helping other nonprofits in the community with physical needs they had, but did not have the resources to do it.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I've been a part of that. So I totally have seen how you have been, well, one, you worked with the chaplaincy, which I work for,
yeah,
and most recently at the Caring Pregnancy Center. It's been awesome to see that actually lived out.
yeah. You should come back into the Caring Pregnancy Center. We are 99% finished.
Oh, I'm so excited for them.
It's going to be done this Saturday will be the last thing. It really looks nice. So
Great. Oh, I really am excited for them and for their patients,
yeah.
clients.
So well, it was helpful that they were not open, so we
Right.
could go in there and disrupt everything, and it didn't bother them one bit. So
Yeah. Well,
anyway,
let's talk about how COVID-19 the past, 7, 8 weeks has really disrupted your normal day-to-day operations and anything else.
well, initially we shut down everything. Because we have volunteers. A lot of them are senior citizen volunteers, and we felt like in compliance with the shutdown, we really couldn't ask our guys and gals to go out and get in harm's way. So we began to shut down everything. But then after a while, we started doing some of the things we felt like we could do safely. So we we opened up our office, and we not to, for people to come in, but we would pick up the calls that we got and see if there's something we could do to help them. And there was a few other ministries that we were able to continue on with, like our God's Garage car repair ministry. Those guys kept working. We were able to continue giving people medical equipment that we have here, so that we didn't skip a beat with that. We continued to pick up bread from Panera 7 days a week and milk from Dairy Gold twice a week,
Good.
which we gave to the local food bank at South Kelso Neighborhood Association.
Good.
But unfortunately, we had to shut down some of the big things we were doing. Our ramp building thing, we just closed that down altogether.
Wow.
We haven't done anything there. And until just a few days ago, we have not been picking up any furniture donations or delivering them to any families that were in need, which really bothered me, because as soon as we shut down, we had a number of calls from families that had gotten out of shelter into their own housing, and they didn't have anything. And to tell you the truth, Paul, that really bothered me that we couldn't help them.
Yeah, I didn't realize that either. I was talking to Ivan and he works for the community house. And one of his jobs is to kind of help link, some of their families to your ministry.
Yeah.
And that's how I learned that they weren't able to connect with you guys because you guys have been shut down for a little bit. And then we're like, well, what can we do? And so, yeah, so we're just thrilled that you guys are reopening slowly when you can. But it is devastating to see how the ripple effect just continues in so many different ways. It's just been a real unfortunate situation for our community and all across the world.
Yeah. Well, in terms of that furniture part and household goods, we're starting that back up. It's slow
Good.
because there's
Okay.
a lot of my volunteers I can't ask to come back on right now. But
Right.
for Matt Carnahan and myself and my grandson, we're able to go out and do things like that safely. I think that's safely.
Yeah.
We wouldn't do it if there was a risk there. So we're starting to crawl back into that niche that we had there.
Okay. Well, tell me about, I know there's been some things that you've had to adapt, but what's been at least one silver lining, one amazing story through this whole thing?
Well, the best thing is we've been able to throw all our resources at the Caring Pregnancy Center remodel.
Mm.
And the silver lining there is that we're almost done. Whereas if we'd had to work around their schedule, we probably would have been another month from completion. We're going to be done this week, and it really looks nice. So we were able to get that big project out of the way without hindering their ministry at all. At least I don't think we did.
Yeah.
And
Right. Right.
they're very happy. You should come by and take a look at it, Paul. It really looks nice.
Oh,
I'm
great.
really
Hey,
excited.
do you know, is there going to be any kind of grand opening? Have they talked about anything like that?
I have no idea. They probably won't do it until the ultrasound machine arrives,
Okay.
but we're ready. You know, it could come today and
All right.
we'd be ready to go.
Well, so let me ask you this, Larry. What are some of your real-time needs right now? And if somebody wanted to help, how can they get a hold of you and how could they help out?
Well, they can call and leave a message on our office phone, or they could contact us through our website, which is lovingcowlitz.com. And there's a connect button there. They can connect with us. But the biggest need we have is still the same need we had going into this thing. We need more space. And
Oh,
we're still praying for and looking for a warehouse space of 3,000 to 4,000 square feet because we have our stuff scattered all over the town
okay.
in garages and storage sheds and things like that. And so that the biggest need we still have is for a unified space where we can keep everything that we have.
Hey, you know what? We have the same need, Larry, and that is that Rivertown, we are homeless as a congregation right now.
Are you really?
Yeah. So let's start praying and maybe we could do something together.
That would be
That would be
great.
that would be wonderful. Somehow we could do a 2-for-1, share a space, use a space. So I don't know what that might look like, but who knows?
Yeah, that's the number one thing. Another thing we're toying with is renting a dry box.
Oh yeah.
And so if somebody wanted to help by donating funds to rent a dry box, I think we got a 20-footer. We're getting a sweet deal if we get it for $65 a month.
Okay.
Uh, but
Not a bad
we've
idea.
got a lot of expensive equipment that we have.
Yeah.
And I don't like the fact that it's scattered all over the place. It doesn't feel very secure to me. Praise the Lord, we haven't
Okay.
lost any of it, but
Okay.
we're thinking about getting a dry box to put at least our most expensive stuff in
Good.
that we have. So
So you need some kind of storage, whether that be a giant warehouse or dry boxes, but still something to keep all the things that you guys store. How are you guys doing financially during this time?
uh, it looks like it's okay. I think it's a little too soon to tell,
Hmm.
but so far the churches that have been supporting us have been faithfully sending support in, and some individuals as well. Uh, tell you the truth,
Good.
Paul, I think it's a little too soon to tell, but
Okay.
so far so good. Yeah,
Yeah, well, I'm glad to hear that. So I know that people of Cowles County and beyond, I mean, generosity is actually, I think, one of the things that's winning right now during this
yeah,
time. Is that
yeah.
people are looking for ways to be generous. And so, if somebody today decided that they wanted to donate to you, I'm sure they can go to your website and there's a donate tab
Yes, there is.
and the mailing address, and they can do that, and they can be maybe a monthly giver or a monthly supporter.
Right.
So yeah, so
So
I'd encourage
you
that.
you have the mailing address is 1105 D, as in dog, 15th Avenue,
Okay.
number 432. The other thing, Paul, is we are always in need of volunteers, and
Yeah.
something this
Yeah.
I think pretty soon this thing is going to open up. Uh, Back up again. And so we're looking for people that have some skills, some carpentry, or like to work with wood, painters, landscaping, things like that.
Yeah.
Even office help. We were short a couple of spots in our office going
Yep.
into this thing. We could use some help there, which really amounts to like a half day a week, or if they wanted to put in a full day, 1 day a week, it'd be 9 to 4,
Yeah.
something like that.
Sounds great.
So those the volunteers are the key to Love Inc. anyway, and so we're
Yeah.
always looking for that. Uh,
Fantastic.
yeah,
Okay. Well, sounds good. Larry, thanks for hanging out with me.
good to be
Always
with
love
you,
catching
Paul.
up with you and partnering with you any way we can. So, again, thanks for taking the time. And if people want to get a hold of you, they can reach out to Love Inc. and either volunteer or donate. So, and donations could be anything from household furniture, which is one of the things that you guys do really well at.
Yeah,
There's a whole other thing, a bunch of other stuff you can probably donate to you guys. So they'll just contact Larry if you guys want to, and Love Inc. and partner up with these guys. This is one of the gems of Cowles County for sure. Hey, thanks again, Larry.
thanks, Paul. Good to be with you.
Okay, all right, bye bye.